to Atlanta. If anybody is looking for some, hit Robert Wise up for tickets. But I'll be in Atlanta at the game, definitely.
Hello, you wonderful people. It's your girl, Petty Erica.
Just Janika for now.
Hey, and this is your girl, Messy Mia. And this is Girls Trip Radio.
Hey.
And we're about to get started tonight. We have several topics to discuss. One is all this violence going on in the school with these kids. Another one is the shooting of another baby, a 3-year-old. And
the untimely death of Kim Porter.
And the untimely death of Kim Porter. And Diddy got something to do with it. Like, it's the word. That's the word on the street. But hey, I don't know. You ain't heard it from me, but you heard something.
Oh, we forgetting one topic too.
What?
The transition of Empowerment Temple.
Do not bring Empowerment Temple into this. The transition is going to be wonderful, ma'am.
Okay.
So we're going to have a Holy Ghost time.
I'm trying to buy that spot and turn it into a club.
Well,
listen, we can put some stripper poles up.
Disrespectful.
We can put some stripper poles up and go with. Listen, I was like, oh, that'd be a nice club too. You know, like how the Palladium do.
Hey, Keisha.
It'd be
nice.
It'd be a nice club, huh?
You told me no.
He ain't the pastor. He can't make them decisions no more.
All right, so we're going to also get started on the topic of, it's the holidays and everything. So who do you spend your time with?
Everybody.
Or most of your time?
Everybody.
The side piece?
Everybody.
The kids?
Everybody.
What?
You spend time with everybody.
So how do you figure out how you break that time down?
Christmas Day is for the main dude and the children. Christmas Eve, you take the side dude for the last minute shopping. Exchange
my God.
Exchange gifts.
Oh. You so disrespectful.
The day after Christmas, you know how y'all had them side chick Fridays for Valentine's Day? It's side chick holiday.
No.
You scram over the leftovers and you act like, what? Shoot, I don't know. Like, listen, that's
I don't know what y'all side pieces are going to do, but I know my man.
Why we got to be what? No, why is continually like, I don't know what y'all side. These married chicks irk me with y'all side
I think
chicks.
Christmas is the side chick holiday. Because they don't really want to be around the kids like that. Because the mothers done already took all their money. The side chick, they can just buy them something cute and call it a day. So I don't know.
Listen, y'all wives just irk me. Never mind.
What y'all think? Who gonna get the most time for the holiday? The side chick, the main chick, or one of the other hoes?
It's evenly spread. It's an even spread.
You can't spread, but
you
so much of 24 hours.
You can spread.
Janika.
Yes.
What would you do?
I would be very strategic. I have to spend my time with one and then get a little sick and let them know I need to get some rest.
So that's how
take
you
some
do.
Medication. And then once that one is done, then I have to, call the next one. Hey, what we doing? It's time to go shopping. And then, trip while we're in the mall, sprain my ankle.
But he gonna go right to the hospital with you.
No, I don't need to go to the hospital. I need to really relax and rest
and
my
quiet.
foot.
You need quiet.
I need to elevate my leg, and I just need to, I got a bad migraine. So once he's gone, then I call the next one. Hey, now we boo love, and then turn the phones off.
You gonna get caught. I did that. I got caught once. Like, me and my. Let me tell you how I got
Train them
caught.
up right, so they don't just come.
You got to train them in the way that they should go.
I'm gonna tell you how I got
So when they
caught.
depart, they know how to
Me and
act.
my baby father. Let me say father. Me and my baby father, we had broke up, but he was still giving me money and stuff. He lived in D.C. and he would come back and forth. So I was seeing another guy, and the other guy, my baby father was coming that morning to take me shopping.
Christmas?
No, it was just regular.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, but my dude that I was seeing at the time wanted to stay over. So I was like, yeah, come on, you can stay over. Earlier that day, my mom was like, you're going to get caught. I was like, no, because by the time he come, he going to be gone because he got to go to work. But baby father came in the middle of the night. Let me tell you, he climbed the wall. He climbed the wall. I hear a knock on the door. Let me tell you, hey, Keisha, Sapphire. I hear a knock. First, my phone rung several times, and I'm like, I'm paying no mind. Then I was like, let me answer this phone. I was like, hello. He was like, open the door. I was like, what? And I hung the phone up and I just was laying in the bed. My friend was asleep. And I was just laying there like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because this is about to be trouble.
You was laying there still.
I was cute. So let me tell you. I went, so he kept banging on the door, knocking, banging. I wouldn't answer the door.
I
was
laying still, so do you
I was
wake
so
up?
still.
So do you
like
wake up?
I ain't even had no breath. I'm telling you. I was like a cough, I was in a coffin. I was like, like nobody is catching none of this.
Right.
So next thing you know, I hear noise. He done climbed up the wall and the window, mind you, 2 stories up.
Oh no!
So I wake my dude up like, yo. He in here and he sleep. He like, this is the.
Oh no!
And he like, who in here? My baby fall.
He got in.
All I know is my place was real nice, and I was like, my girlfriends, I know y'all probably watching, y'all know what happened. And I was like, don't break nothing in my house. Don't break shit in here, because ain't nobody tell you climb. He's like, oh, you all in a nice ass nightgown and shit. You ain't wear that shit for me.
Oh, no.
I was all silked up.
Oh, shit.
So my friend was like, so I was like, I told my baby, I was like, look, you got to go. This is not it. My friend was like, no, you need to get, you need to talk, because he went outside.
That's a grown
but
man.
He
was work it out with your baby
no,
father.
he didn't say work it out. My baby father went outside. And, huh? I don't even know if we did nothing. I don't know. But the memory.
How you don't remember? How you don't remember?
I can't remember. Anyway, the memories of the past.
Come next week, boo.
Anyway, the memories of the past are past if we didn't. So it was good. He was still good. But no, so he was like, no, you need to talk to him, because he was out the back.
Dana, she ain't no real player.
Calling me and stuff. I'm like, look, we not together. But then in my mind, I'm like, I just messed up all this shopping at Georgetown. I was mad. Like for real. That was in the back of my mind. But then I was like, okay, let him in. So my dude, he's sitting in the living room on the chair, baby fall. Let him come back in. No, it's not. This was funny as hell now. He come back in. Yeah, everybody in.
It's almost like a scene off that She's Gotta Have It.
Mind you, he climbed in the window and got in. So now I let him in. Now I let him in this time. So, whatever. So, when he came in, my friend sitting in the chair in the living room. So my baby father was like, yo, can we get some privacy?
Come on with it, Nola.
And I'm like,
Nola, darling.
You ain't gotta go nowhere. He was like, no, I'm just gonna go upstairs. So I'm sitting there. So now I'm feeling bad, because he's looking sad. I'm feeling bad.
As you should.
They wasn't home. I'm sitting there trying to cry. Not one freaking tear would come out my eyes. I will never forget this. When I say I was squinting so tight.
Davon
I still wanted my shopping trip. Davon, mind you,
Dana J. Oh, she's sorry. Dana J said you the real player.
I'm not. We was broke up. I was just trying to get my shopping trip.
So you really thought that he wasn't gonna come get some ass?
It's not that day, but eventually I did.
Did you give him some ass?
No, heck no. Like I was over him.
Still in love, 'cause your head.
You ain't over him.
Yeah, like I was over him. Like that was my real first boyfriend. I did.
Listen, she got dudes climbing up walls and shit.
I lived down in Fowles Point.
They should have kicked you out.
No, they should not have.
Yes, they should have.
They took your rooftop.
You cannot get mad because I had that and I had Spider-Man climbing the window. They had shit to do with it.
You had that
I ain't gonna say all that because I'm trying to be holy tonight.
You trying to be holy?
Yes.
How the hell you gonna try to be holy?
You the one came in here with a box of condoms, ma'am. This one right here got a whole box talking about they feel like the real thing, skin and all that. This is This is the saint right here.
I don't know what she's talking about. Y'all
Saint suck a dick. Go watch that Instagram page. She got almost 5,000 likes on that Jill Scott remix video.
They set me up.
Oh, no.
They
Who
set me
you
up. But if anybody gets excited off of that Jill Scott thing again, you ain't. Yeah, y'all. They need to go get some of that stuff.
She did inside. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, Janice.
Listen, I'm a saint. My car, I had to show like the.
Right.
Because you know she lied. She couldn't even get it out.
Can't even get it together. Go ahead, start over.
I had to teach my clients about safe sex.
Oh, is that what that was?
What clients? They homeless. So what do it matter?
Where they having sex
Outside.
Clients with mental health do have sex.
I didn't say they didn't.
They have a very high sex drive. They get more dick than us.
Have anybody ever got caught by the popo? Yeah. Getting busy?
Listen.
What happened? I did too.
Shut up, Malcolm.
Mine's was, I was seeing this shirt right. Oh, I'm going to get beat in trouble. Like, I was saying this, and like, he could make me do the craziest stuff. No, I'm not. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and pass this story along to one of my counterparts.
No, we want to hear. Inquiring minds want to know about this story.
And then, like, are we in the car? And he's like, okay, all your stuff on. Mind you, I'm butt naked outside at the school.
You bucket naked. She bucket naked.
No, I'm not talking about Blake Montebello up on the hill.
Oh, she was one of them high school freaks.
Yeah, no. I wasn't there. I was grown.
Oh, she just a freak. Period. Go ahead.
You were just taking it back to the school.
She thought because it said closed after dark wasn't going to nobody be out.
But he gonna come pull up. Like, I'm glad he was cause then you know.
Was he black or white?
He was black.
Well, that's a good.
I want a white one. I want to try a white one.
So you want to date white?
And I just want to try a white one.
Is it?
I
want to try it one time.
Why?
I can set you up. How about that?
No, let me tell you about these people right here.
What?
Do you know I put on Facebook, I put it out there, I'm like, let's go to Taboo just to see what it's like, girl.
Oh, she gonna tag me as if I was at Taboo.
I was like, let's tag me shit like that. I don't get it. I'm tagging him. And I was like,
I put hide on my thing. They have my hide on.
So I was like, no. I'm like, let's go. Like, let's be curious. Let's just go. Let's go.
We gonna do that on the low, not on Facebook.
I just said, let's go to Taboo.
On Facebook.
She gonna tag us like we was there.
This was in a DM.
No.
I was like,
she shared it on
I was like, let's
she
go.
Tagged us
social media.
I was like,
and let's go to Taboo.
But she tagged us Taboo in it as if we were there.
Like we were there. I was like, I showed it to my friend.
I was like, she about to get
I was like, that freak. I was like, that doesn't make her a freak.
Wait a minute, why Dana J said you be in the back of healthcare for the homeless?
Oh my God, Angie said she hid it too. That's right, Angie. She
right.
When I press hide real
how y'all
quick.
gonna hide it? I just saying let's go out for
But
drinks and
the
stuff.
way you posted it,
like that, like
it was as if we were there. You posted.
No, I said let's go. I said did you read what I
That could have
wrote?
meant like,
I ain't reading
let's get
anything.
it.
No, it mean I want to go.
But people can
No.
read into it any kind of way.
Leave.
Oh, we already there. Let's go.
We were not. No, we were not.
Oh,
Right, no.
Like where y'all at? Like we could have been in the back room doing something. Let's go.
Oh, Crystal Queen said white guys eat a lot of pussy.
This is not a porn show, man.
I don't like it.
I don't like
She said white guys eat a lot of pussy. But
But
anyway, I wanted to go, and then somebody told me about another one that Philadelphia has.
Well, let's go to
It's
that one.
called
That's out of
Send
town.
Something.
Y'all want to go to
Y'all want to see
Taboo?
all the people that y'all was going to see at the park reunion there.
Oh my God!
There
Please let her go.
You go and tell us how it was.
Casey,
No.
please let her go.
I need a chaperone.
Yeah, you
No.
gonna go with her?
You can go with
wanna
her.
go with
Anybody
me?
want to go to
With her,
Taboo
Casey?
with this freak?
I want to go to Taboo. I want to watch.
You wanna watch?
You too old for that. Like, come on. Like,
Warrior, she likes to watch it. You never get too old for that.
yeah, true. I'm not saying anything about anything. I'm just gonna sit here and mind my business.
Oh, okay.
Right, y'all.
I
I'm
want to
just.
watch.
Hi, Ines.
Somebody kids to be fighting in school.
Okay, so let's reel it in with all of these porn comments.
Right, and let's
No
get
more
back to these children.
Let's get back to. Oh wait a minute, we got some comments. Y'all are still on social media
children.
discussing taboo. That is this girl. She tagged
No,
us,
no, where's the
Keisha.
right
That
one?
it's her. I'm gonna put the camera on her. Her name is Erica Patrice.
Yes, she's single. Erica is single. He wants to know, are you single?
Yes, she's single.
And ready to mingle. Yeah,
She's
she
single.
is.
But no, we want to discuss
These ignorant ass
kids.
children.
Yeah, switching topics because I'm not reading these comments no more.
I'm not
Please
reading them
don't.
either because this wasn't for me. Anyway, we want to discuss all of these kids
fights.
and these fights
Yes.
that's going on in the school. We had a fight yesterday at a school in the cafeteria. Now today at Dunbar we had a whole brawl of students just fighting throughout the cafeteria. It looked like it was about 10, 15 fights.
She's single, but she needs somebody.
At this point, I don't know what to do when it comes to these children. Y'all, it's just.
Sidebar. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
Then he got the heat on hell again in here.
Oh my gosh.
So
Right.
basically,
It's hot. Come on. It's hot.
Y'all talking about taboo.
Yeah.
Oh, that
we
is
trying to
not wild.
switch gears, but it's just
Keep on going back to
No, we not
taboo.
going
Oh
back
my
to that.
We
God.
What
not
we
going
want to
back to that.
discuss is what the hell are we going to do with these kids? Like, for real, call in 404
nothing. Stop bringing y'all dysfunctional,
436
sending y'all dysfunctional
I
ass
was-
kids to
now
school.
listen, I was at my daughter's school yesterday. I shadowed my daughter all day yesterday
Right.
in school, and these children are off the hook. They're really disrespectful. I had to pull myself back twice with these children with their tone and their cursing and being rude to the teachers. I'm like, no, because if they pop off,
I'm
you're going
popping
to
back.
jail. You're going to jail. But I just sat there and was like, wow,
Wow.
the teachers couldn't control the classrooms. It's like one girl would just sit in the classroom, just kept on asking stuff like, we were in chemistry. Are we ever going to use this outside school? Probably not, but you need to use it so you can get out of school. Like, miss, you disrupting the whole thing. Everybody else trying to learn, but she's sitting back there, kept on asking asinine-ass questions. And I really want to say something to her, like, listen. But I said no, because if she pop off,
I'm popping back.
we're going to jail. Well, I'm going to jail. It's not going to be a good look. But these children are disrespectful.
At this point, I don't know what to do. You have, it definitely has to be the households.
And it's not like back in the day where it took a village to raise the kids. Everybody listens to the adults around. They have no respect for anybody.
But the adults that these kids coming from are disrespectful. They display the
Because
same
they're children,
mentality
they were
that their
babies
kids
raising babies.
has. And I ain't even gonna say that because some of them old as dirt and trying to be their kid's friend, and that's the problem.
I had to go to my son's school one time. A little boy in his class, he was, the time Ethan was in the 5th grade.
Hey, Kenny.
And the little boy looked like he belonged in like the 7th or 8th grade. And the kids started playing this little game called What Are Those? Like my son, he's the nerdy type. He likes Converses, Sperry's, stuff like that. They accustom their kids to like Jordans and things like that. So one day, the little boy called my son a nigga, and he was the same color as him. My son came home crying. He was walking home from my mom's house. My mom called me. He was like, well, Ethan came home crying, and you know, my son.
He was a nigga?
That's not how he articulates himself. And then they was fighting, and then a little altercation broke out. So he said between him and the little boy. And at the time, my mother told him and taught him. And when we were growing up, she said this too. She was like, if somebody hits you, go tell the teacher. Like, I was not allowed to hit back or whatever the case may be.
I ain't grow up like that.
So I used to get in trouble a lot.
Somebody hit you,
You better hit that.
That wasn't my mother's rule.
Hitting you, absolutely.
My mother's rule was not that. So when my son came home, my mother was like, why are you coming home crying? I told you don't let people see you cry. Don't come home crying.
So
she
he can't fight back and he can't cry?
So when he said, wait a minute, listen. So my mom, when I talked to him I talked to him with my mom, he was like, it's not words that hurt. He said, you taught me words don't hurt me. It's when you put your hands on me. So that's when I went to the school. And I explained to the principal, I said, this is the route that I'm going to take. Because I saw the little boy, I asked to talk to him. Like, I was at the door. I was on Facebook Live. I can repost the live. I was on Facebook Live and everything. So I was like, this half-bred ass 7th grader going to sit up here and call my son a nigga. He blacker than him, this, that, and the other. I was getting mad, but then I had to go and talk to the principal. And I said, I want to have a meeting with the parents. And there's 2 ways I'm going to handle it. If the parent is really trying and the child is just dysfunctional, I can give them resources and work with them.
Right.
But if the parents is just as dysfunctional as the child, I got a problem. I'm going to put my foot in somebody's ass. Because my thing about it is you can't keep...
But your mama said don't fight.
I don't give a hell.
That was when you was little.
That's when I was little. I turned to my son and I said, the next time somebody put their hands on you, you hit them back or you're going to have a problem with me.
Absolutely.
That's what I told them. I teach my son to respect teachers. I say you are there to learn. If they tell you to do something, do it because they have what you want and what you need to matriculate in life. It's no ends. If they call me and was like, Miss Smith, Ethan has been, no, Mom, I wasn't. I was just trying to do this and that. Right. It's just that these parents are not taking the time out to teach their kids how to act. And so they don't even know how to act at home.
What about the rule, the reason why the fight broke out in the cafeteria? The rule because the child wanted milk and the person
that
in the
rule
cafeteria
has been there since
it
school started.
It needs to change because when I was in school with my daughter yesterday, she asked one of her classmates because she had some of her grapes. I said, why don't you go get your own grapes? She said, well, Ma, I can't get grapes today. I don't want the food. They told me if I don't get the whole tray, I can't get the grapes. I think that's asinine. So if my child's thirsty or my child just wants some fruit, if she don't take your whole tray of food, she can't eat anything or she can't drink anything. I need that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the logical thing.
That I was going to say that is logical,
right?
But
that is the logical thing to do.
But the rule needs to change. Why waste the food? Right, and that makes sense. So why not change that rule? Because other children who maybe want 2 lunches, hey, I don't want the grapes. Take the grapes off. My daughter could have the grapes, and somebody else could have had the pizza. So I think had that rule not been put in place, then that wouldn't have broke out. You mean to tell me I can't drink?
Have rules for no reason.
For no reason.
But when you're dealing with
we have someone that she commented and she said Madria Lemon said grandmothers are 27 years old now.
Don't get hit back. I don't
and
understand.
that's part of the problem. No shade. We have another comment where Kenny says is what the parents do in front of them and that trash what music they listen to. And I'll say that. I'll say I'm gonna say
it's not
this.
The music.
It starts here. It starts when they are small kids, and the rolling of the eyes, the shaking, the disrespect, the tone, the demeanor. That it starts right there. And when that's not corrected, when they 1 and 2, because they understand. Absolutely. You can't say that they don't understand these days because these kids come out now and they understand everything. So at 1 year old, they rolling their eyes and they having temper tantrums and this is where it begins. That's where it begins. And then when they get older and older, they've been doing it for so long, they used to it. It's embedded in them, so they continue on. So now you got a parent that's now trying to grab hold of this child that's been so disruptive for so long, they don't know how to. So now the dysfunction just continues and continues. Then you have some parents that just give up because they're tired.
So how do we break the mold then? Like I'm just trying to figure out what are we missing? Like where is the gap?
So hold on. KJ says, get the whole tray and get what you don't want to someone else.
That's logic.
Okay, that's logic.
Free lunch
been
happening in school for years.
That's logic to you.
You gotta get a milk. There's a count. But they don't understand there's a count. So when you do free lunch, they go by the application, how many students, maybe a lot of people can't afford it. So if they just keep giving away the milk and can't account for the lunch, they may reduce lunches in school. Like they won't have enough for everybody. So my thing about it is
why offer that to somebody else then?
When they get so all they gotta do is take the meal and be like, does anybody want my tray? If not, throw it away. It's just logical.
What if it's a child who doesn't have that type of verbal? They're not verbal with everybody. They might be a shy child, but they just want to milk.
Miss Baker.
They might not have any friends at school.
Okay.
All
right.
Marguerite, wait a minute, guys.
Somebody that want that school lunch. It's somebody else that want that lunch. But I still think.
You be like, all right, fuck, I eat it. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
So but wait a minute. What about the children who pay for lunch? Because my daughter doesn't get free lunch. So she go up there and she just wants some grapes. She got to pay $5, take a tray of food that she don't want just to get some grapes.
Then bring your own grapes. Marguerite Baker said parents need.
Grapes until she saw them.
Exactly.
The problem is you need to give us some damn grapes.
You need. All right, y'all. Marguerite Baker said parents need to parent and not be their friend. Too many parents think that children being disrespectful is cute when their kids are young, and when they get older, they are out of control, which is true.
That is true.
That's so damn true.
I agree. And some children just are not disrespectful at home. Because my son, I have a 26-year-old, he was almost, because there's no such thing as perfect, but he was almost perfect at home. Never had any issues at home, but when he got to school, he was a fucking terror.
Because you know what? It's the peer pressure. You have some kids
when I first got the first call from a teacher saying,
I'm a press your peer, you play with
my
me.
son was throwing the chair across the table and he bit the teacher. I'm like, who?
Right.
Who child did that? I literally went up to the school and I was in tears when they was explaining to me what my son did. I'm like, this is not my child.
Because you know what? These kids get in class.
And he was raised in a two-parent household with moves and principles and raised the right way. But he got to school and he did something totally different.
But when that's the problem. When they get in school, it's so many kids that's just so disruptive. They try to be, the peer pressure comes in. So then they trying to be the big kid on campus. They don't want to look like the nerd kid. And some kids don't know how to put.
He was little. He did probably had a Napoleon.
Yes. You know.
You know what my mother said? I'm gonna embarrass you where you embarrass me. You know how many ass whoopings I got in school?
My oldest daughter, she showed off one time in school, and that was the last time, because as I'm walking down the hallway, she walking up, and all she whispering is like, please. Because she already know.
Right.
One thing I did not play with, you gonna go to school and nobody better not call me saying shit. I mean, absolutely nothing. You get sick, that's the only call I should get from the school. If that number pops up and it's 396, I'm on my way to the school.
See, me, like, so growing up, I was a...
Well, this piggybacks off of you rather have your child scared of you than respect you.
I don't think that is the point of them. My kids was never scared of me because I was more mouth. I was more mouth. I was the household where all the kids hung at. Okay. Like, I mean, I was wanted to file them on my taxes. Because that's where they was always at my house. It was always a level of respect when it came to my house. So it wasn't a point that I wanted my kids scared of me, but it's some type of fear need to be in these kids.
I agree.
It definitely it just have to level itself out. That's all.
They should have a level of fear and respect.
Kenny says yes, and they always say to the kid and about the kid to others that the kid is bad. Oh, he is so bad. That's another thing. Keep saying your kids are bad.
They're not bad.
Because then they think they're bad. Or they do stuff to be bad because since you think they're bad anyway, why not just be bad?
You right, Keisha Chama. In this day and time,
I'm going to just tell y'all from experience. I was bad as shit. My mother, she taught me well, and I was bad as shit. I got kicked out of every school. I was like, but for me, it was like not being able to fit in because, like, I'm the same height and size I was. I know I was bigger. Bigger and
in fifth grade.
How you 7 feet in fifth grade? What kind of shit is that?
You was 7 feet.
So I was listen, I had a growth spurt, and you know my pants, you know my mom. And my pants never caught up with my height, so you know my mother.
You always had on capris.
They're called ankle pants.
No, they was. Okay. Erica always wore capris.
Was they bell bottoms? That would make the difference.
So my rebellion came from like being bullied, being picked on, trying to fit in.
You was trying to deflect.
They picked on my, like one time I was at Falstaff Middle School and this girl kept picking on me.
Right, she getting emotional. She getting emotional.
What's her name? Call her ass out. What's her name?
This girl kept picking on me.
What's her name?
I forgot her name.
Oh, all right.
I think, we cool now. Her name was Najita. Listen,
Not
y'all,
Jeter. You should have picked on her ass for that name.
I got
the
the
time,
time
should have been like
not Jeter for fuck with my sister.
But at the time I had joined the girls basketball team because that was the only people that took me.
Was tall.
And I got the curiosity thing. But I got put out.
What curiosity or what?
That's not the topic.
Here we go. Let me put my hat on. Let me strap up. It's about to get windy in here.
Not the topic. But I started acting out at Falstaff Middle School. I got into a lot of fights.
Keisha.
I went to Garrison Middle School.
I went to Garrison.
I lasted
put out a Garrison.
I lasted 6 months in Northwestern. I found the razor blade and I was bringing it to him, but I put it under my tongue.
How you gonna find and put it under your tongue? The lies you tell. You was
I lasted 2 weeks.
To give you a tetanus shot.
I lasted 2 weeks. I really was gonna cut somebody.
Right. She said
I last 2 weeks. I last 2 weeks in Forest Park. I got put out of Job Corps. I got put out of Forest Park. I got put out of every what was those harbor cities. I went to all the harbor cities and I got put out. The reason why I'm such a big advocate no.
You didn't get to Francis Wood.
No, my last school was Job Corps. No, Job Corps when I got put out of Job Corps. And the reason why I'm so hard on children to get things right. Listen, I was bad as hell. No, I was bad. I used to I'll never forget Miss Ridgely, my teacher. She told me that I was bad as hell, and when she told me that she had a miscarriage on one of my tantrums that I had when I was older, I felt so bad and I had to apologize. So the reason why I'm such a big advocate on these parents getting on these kids and helping, because I don't want somebody to have to take the path that I took. Like, it took me to have a child to put myself through high school and get a high school diploma, and to have to watch a child while I'm putting myself through college, when all really your parents is asking you to do is keep your room clean and good grades. That's all my mom
But these
asked.
parents now not doing that. These parents now are on crack. Everybody
and it's
high.
and
everybody
they
high
think,
from the parents to the children.
Right. Everybody
and
high.
everybody think we just saying it just to say it, but I'm just like, when I say it, the struggle is real. Don't take life-altering situations. Like, I remember, I will never forget the person that turned my life around, Judge Brown. See, Judge Brown. She's the youth judge downtown. I forgot her first name, but Judge Brown, she's one of the youth judges downtown, and I had juvenile court. And when I tell you, when I had to stand before her, I was facing 24 months. Like, I was the only one that I was bad as hell. I was the only one that walked out of that courtroom without shackles.
So you were so bad, but how was your household?
You know what? My mom was an elder in the church, but at 12 years old, the trigger was I had learned that my father, which his death anniversary is tomorrow, but I had learned my father was, a street dude. Like, he was almost like American Gangster. He would come home to the family and do stuff in the streets. Back in the day when they used to sell drugs.
So because your father was a criminal, it made you want to go.
It was a lot of issues in the household. Yeah, I was daddy's little girl. So the split up of my mom and dad really affected me, and I didn't know how to handle it.
That's why I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. It's gonna have to go one kid at a time. You're not gonna be able to group everybody. You're gonna have to go one kid at a time, because every kid is in a different situation.
Yeah, it's a trigger.
But no, the city, the politicians, the city councils, everybody, nobody is going to take the time that it's going to take to turn these kids around. You can't keep saying blame it on the parents. You can't keep saying hold the parents accountable when they on crack. You can't hold a crack kid accountable for nothing, because they don't know nothing but crack.
That's true too, but I really feel like it's the point of of reaching the child where they're trying to figure out where they're broken at.
Right. You have to meet them where they are and at their needs.
I mean, it's going to take time.
It is.
But they can start having focus groups in school, having counselors, making focus groups. One of like, they have the mentoring programs.
That's good programs.
It's hard if they don't reinforce it. All the work that you did to clean them up in school, and they go home and get dirty again.
But you have. That's where you have to. That's where you have to.
Well, that's what
you
they
have to
make-
prepare
they
them
make-
for the obstacle.
I was going to say, because
that's what I'm saying. You can't. You have.
Once you know better, you knew better.
Right.
So if they get what they need in school and then they go to the streets and still do the same stuff, then they're making a choice. But if they don't know, that's a different story.
Right.
But it's programs like my job, our downtown office, we have something called Elevate. And what they do is they go inside the schools and they create training programs for the parents. So if the parents don't have a high school diploma or certain stuff, they help the parents, because if you help the parents, the child will have a better outcome of not ending up like the current parent. So there are things, but I think they need to make these focus groups a part of the syllabus in school, a part of a class session.
The way the focus groups need to go is you have kids that have broken homes. You have kids that have parents that's on drugs. You have kids that have emotional issues. Those focus groups need to be broke down, and those particular kids need to be together, not thrown in to group them all together. They need to be thrown. They need to be put together in the focus group that they need to be put in. I can't put a crackhead and an alcoholic in the same category. I'm just not. It's the whole thing is different. Yes, they have an addiction, but the addiction is different. Like you can't. You can't. The focus groups have to meet each kid at their need, and you can't put a kid in a focus group that's an orphan with people that have two parents, but because their parents argue all the time, they don't know how to function in life with other people. So you can't do that. You have to put these kids in as close to their lifestyle that you can put them in. That's just how it is. But I don't think that's ever going to happen, and I just think it's going to get worse and worse. I don't see no light at the end of the tunnel for these kids in this city.
So the young lady who got her arm broke, what do you think should happen with the child?
For the child, for the milk, the cafeteria. For me, I think that they need to go and see this child's household. You can't punish every child for an act if you don't know the whole story.
It has to be still some accountability.
I'm not saying there's no accountability.
It don't work like that.
Let's figure out what happened.
Yes, there still has to be accountability.
You missing my point. I'm not saying not have accountability, because I worked in the juvenile system and I seen these kids and I seen the parents that they come from. You be like, it's no way they gonna make it.
I ran a mental agency for 6 years. I have had children at 16 get charged as an adult for robbing a liquor store.
And I think adult shit.
Absolutely, but you have to know the history.
But those parents were also kids too.
Maybe and maybe not.
Maybe or maybe not.
You have to learn the
No, because some of them is old and they no, they're not. At one point. But some people go through something. Like for me, I thought like. It would have been easy for me to be a drug addict. It would have been easy for me to just have been out there. It would have been easy for me to do all those things. And it wasn't that I had people that was right here to guide me like I needed to be guided. I made that choice. Not because I made that choice mentally, not because I knew to make that choice. It just happened that way.
Well,
it just happened.
You made a choice, whether you recall it or not. You just say, "I want to be
like this," or
I don't.
My thought process was always like, if I see a drug addict, I don't want to look like that.
So that's the choice. That was the choice.
But that was right. That was my choice. Some kids don't have that mental stability to make that choice. That's what I'm saying.
But my thing is, you can't.
Right. Some think it's cool. And they do, because these kids in juvenile, they think popping pills, they think how many pills they pop, the type of pills they pop. I sit and talk to these kids. And I used to tell them, by the time you 21, you're going to be a straight, no, I'm not even. No, I'm not.
Some kids are taught life. Some kids are just taught survival. Some people are in survival mode. But my whole thing about it is, you can give a child all the tools. My mother gave me all the tools that I needed, regardless of what my father did with the choices that he made. She gave me the tools, and then I had to make the choice to choose self-determination, what I wanted to do. I had to endure the consequences of all of my actions. If it
Right.
was getting expelled, getting locked up, getting arrested, I did it. I had to learn from my mistakes. We can't continue to keep blaming parents all the time
Right.
because,
You
like
can't.
I said, they still,
it's
when
all
you send them
individual.
out to school,
Right.
you send them to school and with the mindset of this is what they have to do, and they
Right.
do other things to please other people. Sometimes they're going to have to endure and suffer those consequences. I'm sorry. I've given you the tools. You have to use it. I'll reinforce it.
But what about the
doing
kids that don't?
work?
What about the kids that don't have the tools? Now we have a cop that he says, I do believe it start at home. If they have a good home uprising before school,
That's not always
Not
the case.
always the
so let me
case.
give you a personal example again with my son. My son was raised in a two-parent household. He was raised with good morals and good principles. He got into a gang fight or whatever, community fight. We lived in Anne Arundel County, so it's primarily white people. 3 grown men was jumping him, a 19-year-old, a 20-some-year-old, and a 30-some-year-old. Within this group brawl, 3 grown men was attacking him at the time. He had I think a box cutter or something in his pocket. He took it out. One guy got stabbed, sliced, or something like that. Long story short, he was 17 at the time. They charged him as an adult. Gave him a $450,000 bail. Right, damn, in Anne Arundel County. 17, had never been in trouble a day in his life. He was working, going to school, and they tried to smash my son. Had he not had an educated mother
Right.
who knew what to do in the system, they would have smashed my child.
Right.
But I was able to get him out.
Happened to a lot of people.
I lied
does,
them. That's why
right.
I say it's individualized. You can't just say if they raised in the right household. You just never know. You have to individualize everything. You can't group it all together.
But can I ask
Right.
can I ask one
It
question?
do come down to
Some
choices.
people have kids that should not be raising kids.
I want to say
Absolutely. But
one
was a child
thing.
raised. I had my first child when I was
Fine,
17.
but I'm just saying you did okay. But
Yeah.
some people fuck it up.
I have
That
a
is
brother.
true.
I have a brother, and I've never met him. I'm gonna meet. I've just decided to meet him for the first time in January. We've talked in jail. He's in jail, whatever. He was 16. Now he came from a good parent household. Of course, my dad was out there. He experienced all the things that my dad did before. So my dad went to jail for 17 years, came home, had my sister, then had me. He was already there.
Right.
So he knew he just wanted to be like his dad. Knowing his mom taught him the right thing. He went DC, Capitol Hill, killed the governor's brother. It was a group of them, but he had the gun. He was the trigger man influence. Never had a crime history in his life.
wow.
My brother never had any issues. He just was a kid that wanted his dad. He was just a kid that wanted to fit in. My brother is still sitting in jail with a life sentence in Gapstone, Virginia, no parole. Do you think that do you think there's should be a second chance for him, or he should be held accountable for his actions, or
It depends.
should
Every circumstance is different.
That's why I
It
said
depends.
the
It depends.
individualized
Right. Every
everything.
circumstance is different.
and he wasn't
It
from a broken
depends.
home. He just wanted his dad. He wanted to be like his dad. That's it. He wanted to be like his dad.
But he
But he
came
made
from
choices.
a broken home because his dad was broken. His dad, even though his dad might have was there, his dad showed him the wrong shit. So at the end of the day,
he did. My dad never brought that stuff
He
around
may
us.
you may think he didn't.
saw it.
These kids know.
kids know
Kids
what's going
sense
on,
and kids know.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
your dad had to take that accountability of what he produced in his son. Now he has a son that's sitting in jail for the rest of his life. His dad played a major role in that. You cannot
You
say
can't throw it all on.
I'm not going
But
to
you can't
I'm
throw
not
it on the
throwing it all
parent.
on the dad, but again, you do
Somebody who
Right.
raised him.
absolutely.
And
that's
the
why
cycle perpetuates.
then the cycle continues and it continues
Absolutely.
and it's going to continue.
And
to
he was
continue.
supposed,
like
and
I
he
said,
knew
it's
right
not
from
getting
wrong,
better.
and he knew right from wrong.
Right.
And he was just like, I missed my dad. You know, I met these group of guys, and this is who I wanted to
be
never
with,
have
right.
never been in trouble a day in his life. Always been a respectful person.
Right.
And like now, it's just like he's been there since he's 16. My brother's 40-some years old, and
Wow.
and because it
he
was
wouldn't
the
even know how to
governor's-
come out and interact with the world.
and
the world
because
has
it was the
changed.
governor's brother, it's like
He'll
okay.
never get out.
Them,
It's
absolutely.
done. It's done.
So I'm just like, it's not always. That's why I said we gotta really stop blaming it on.
I'm not blaming.
The
I'm not blaming it
parents, but
on
trying to
all,
figure out
I'm
where
not
they're
blaming
broken.
everything on the parents. I'll blame the parents that have abusive households, dysfunctional households, crackhead households. I'll blame those parents.
But those people probably came from abusive,
Right.
crackhead households
It's
as
just
well.
people deal with it differently. Some people
Absolutely.
lash out in a violent way.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know,
Right.
she's describing. Some people are more dependent and they become addicted to a substance.
Mm-hmm.
Some people get onto alcohol. I mean, it's just so. But he might be dealing with the same thing.
Right.
Some kids, some people just, and it not so much even kids, but some people just make a snap decision that changes their life for life, and that's just how it goes sometimes. But at the end of the day, I don't see it getting better for these kids. I just think it's going to get worse. You got a 3-year-old
Everything
that
gets
just
worse
got
before it
shot.
gets
You
better.
just had a 5-year-old shot. Now you just have another child shot because it's sitting on their steps. Something has to change. The laws have to change. Period.
You
Point
think it's the
blank.
laws?
It's the laws have
I
to
think
change.
they need to incorporate more.
I think they need to bring the death penalty back.
I know they need to.
No.
It's not the death
No.
penalty. They need to
It's
bring
still there.
more rehabilitation in these communities. They need
Yes,
to help them
yes,
learn how
yes,
to do something
yes.
different. Not
That-
put them in jail. Learn how to be in your community, be
You need more
successful
birth
in your.
control.
That's it. That's it. Birth control.
Birth
See.
control. The age is birth control.
But listen, y'all, with
You
this
should
weather
not be able to
changing,
come-
I
you
need.
should
What's
not
that
be able
country
to-
can only have one
You
child?
should not be able
I think
to
it's
come
Japan.
or have your eggs fertilized unless your mental is right.
I just hope we have I just hope this whole winter
Well,
be a
stop
blessing.
spilling your
Talk about
babies.
disrupting some amendments, but
Yeah.
listen,
Right.
I want to give
This
y'all my
Girlz
health
law. We
tip.
gotta
It's
change Girlz
freezing
law.
outside.
Okay.
I need for you guys to bundle up. It's real. Over 300,000 people last year died from influenza. So please know that you need to get your flu shot, pneumonia shots if you can get them. They're
I'm not
free.
getting none of that.
That's a whole
I don't
other
do
show.
none of that. Yeah,
I know. So
that's
listen,
population
listen.
control.
I used to feel the same way. I never wanted to get the flu shot because I never got sick.
I ain't
I
getting that
pride
shit.
myself on never getting sick, and I felt like I heard about all the bad things that can happen when you get the flu shot. You can get worse from the flu shot than after getting the flu. And then once I got the flu, oh my bejesus, those aches, those pains.
I'm not getting that shit.
Sick for a week, all that
I ain't getting
stuff.
that shit.
So you guys make your own choices, but I believe that you
getting that
should
shit.
get your flu shot if you are able to get it. It's free at Walgreens, at Giants Pharmacy. Protect yourself because the wolf is out there.
And if the wolf get y'all, if
Just
the wolf
get
get y'all,
cough.
just get y'all, get y'all some cough drops. No, listen. If y'all get sick, get some cough drops, a fifth of Henny, and some warm blankets.
Oh my God.
And some dirt.
Sweat it out.
All right, y'all. So
And
and some dirt.
And some what?
And some dirt.
Some good old.
Don't forget.
I don't need to have
we
that.
Give
I don't
Girls
have
Trip
sex.
Radio give you a whole lot of truth with a dose of reality,
and
all with love. Peace to the Middle East. See y'all in 2 weeks. Deuces. What?
Peace in the DMV. We love y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.
You know that gotta be digital drugs.
Let's go,